So this is our final project. We looked at colloidal silver. My name is Grace Ann.
Christopher Gomez.
Selena Martinez.
Chadwick Vigen.
You may be asking yourself, what exactly is colloidal silver? Popularized in the 16th century as our knowledge of alchemy grew, colloidal silver provides an all-natural medicine option to those who are tired of being overprescribed modern medicine that sometimes seems to cause more harm than good. Not only can colloidal silver act as an antibiotic, it can also treat an ailment before it even really becomes a problem by boosting your immunity, as well as reducing inflammation and pain. Colloidal silver can provide relief in healing bruises and cuts, as well as in conditions such as acne and asthma. While the process of obtaining and synthesizing silver for human use is quite complicated, ultimately, medicinal colloidal silver falls under the umbrella of homeopathy and follows the principles of dilution that is practiced within this medicinal circle.
What is colloidal silver? Colloidal silver are tiny particles in a liquid that are promoted as a dietary supplement. Colloidal silver is commonly advertised as a miracle cure, but these claims rely on logical fallacies. The logical fallacies that help promote that it actually works are scientific sounding language, rumors are evidence, coincidence. The graph represents that 80% of believers have heard it, that it works from anecdotes or testimonials.
Colloidal silver is honestly one of the most slept on natural tools for your immune system. Here we've got Dr. Andrew Jones, an actual medical professional with years of experience, explaining how tiny silver particles help fight off germs in the body and can even clear up skin infections. In this video, he talks about studies on antibiotic resistant bacteria, and he says straight up that the research shows colloidal silver is likely very effective and potentially very safe. What's interesting is that he says a lot of this evidence comes from Spanish clinical studies, research that you're never going to see on TV. He doesn't drown you in citations. He's already done the boring research behind the scenes, and he gives you the bottom line in plain language. It works, and it's safe when you use it correctly. And of course, this isn't the exact thing that something like Big Pharma wouldn't want you to know about. You can't patent a simple mineral like silver and sell it for hundreds of dollars a bottle. So you're not going to see these commercials on TV. Instead, people find it through doctors like Jones and word of mouth online. His video has attracted tons of attention and positive feedback from viewers who are tired of relying on expensive prescriptions. For people who want something natural that still feels grounded in real medical experience, colloidal silver, starts to look like a really smart addition to their health routine. And it's not just theory or lab talk. People who stumble on videos like this, try it for themselves, and stick with it, say that it completely changed their health.
An interview with an avid colloidal silver user shows just how beneficial this medicine has been for her. Interviewee Jane Doe began taking colloidal silver after she saw a wellness influencer talk about the product on social media and loved the idea of a more natural medicine instead of relying on the heavily prescribed medications from Western doctors. Colloidal silver has become a staple in her daily health routine. Doe swears that it instantly cleared up a sinus infection and works amazing in boosting her immune system. After engaging with the influencer's video, Doe has noticed many more individuals sharing their success stories, which has only encouraged her further to continue using colloidal silver.
Mind games, how arguments trick us. A deeper look into how effective use of fallacies can trick an audience.
So now we want to switch gears and explain what we were talking about rhetorically in the first half. Our group chose to employ the fallacies scientific language does not make a science, rumors do not equal reality, and coincidence from Michael Shermer's Why People Believe Weird Things, because these strategies mimic pseudoscientific rhetoric and allowed us to make colloidal silver appear safe and beneficial to an uncritical audience despite the lack of solid scientific evidence. So that's our core enthymeme for the second half. We're basically assuming that if we wrap colloidal silver in sciencey language, point to what looks like expert support, and repeat success stories that happen to line up with people feeling better, that a non-skeptical audience will accept the claim without really questioning the evidence. On these next slides, we're going to break down each of those three fallacies and show exactly why they showed up in our presentation.
Fallacy 5. Scientific language doesn't make a science. Looks official but isn't. Just because sources use scientific terms and charts to appear more credible doesn't mean that they actually are real evidence. Impressive vocabulary. Using long and technical term words to impress the reader still doesn't make them true. Evidence still matters. True science relies on real data and evidence, not just trying to sound smart. Calabrese says pseudoscience is a bad faith, loose method, and lower standards.
The fallacy of conjecture. Rumors don't equal reality. Fallacy number 9. We all love a good story, but when we pass on the unconfirmed piece of information, we fall into a common powerful trap. Rumors begin with, I read somewhere that, or I heard from someone that. Credibility. When information lacks a clear source, we unconsciously upgrade its status to undeniable fact. Built to be believed, these compelling testimonials and health folklore are simple, dramatic, and offer hope. They have incredible staying power regardless of their scientific truthfulness. The proof problem. 100 anecdotes or 1,000 tellings still only equal a single story. Proof requires evidence from controlled trials, not just repetition.
Next, we'll look at Michael Shermer's fallacy number 13 on coincidence. As discussed by Carl Sagan in his work, The Burden of Skepticism, many of the so-called crazy ideas or practices out there address real human needs that are not being met by society. Many individuals are turning to more natural home remedies as health costs rise and unnecessary overprescription crisis continues to grow as well. While there are many issues that need to be addressed in our healthcare system, believing every home remedy that is marketed as a cure-all is not always the best decision. In the beginning of this presentation, we discussed how colloidal silver can supposedly heal bruises and cuts as well as ailments such as asthma and eczema. Bruises and cuts will always heal with some time, no matter what medicine or product that you take. It would be very difficult to tell if the healing was truly a result of colloidal silver or just a result of time and therefore a coincidence. Additionally, diagnoses such as asthma and eczema are examples of ailments that have certain periods where they flare up and get much worse before sometimes going back to normal. Similar to the bruises and cuts, it's difficult to tell if colloidal silver actually played a role or if the flare-up has just stopped.
Stop the chain reaction. Hype is not proof. Why we fall for the hype. Colloidal silver used to be used to treat infections and wounds before antibiotics became widely available. This product often claims to cure diseases like cancer and COVID, and medical claims made by these producers are not true. Silver has no known function or benefit in the body when taken by mouth, and it is not an essential mineral. A lie that might die quietly, and neglect takes on life as it airs repeatedly. Conclusion. We all want a simple, natural fix for our health. That's why colloidal silver sounds so appealing. It's promoted as a all-natural medicine that can act as an antibiotic. People claim it helps with everything from cuts and bruises to acne, asthma, and eczema. But here's the honest truth. Colloidal silver is often advertised as a miracle cure, but these claims are mostly based on tricks, not proof. It's important to keep an individual's motivations in mind before taking their word at surface level. The takeaway is don't let the hype become your proof when it comes to your health. We have to look past the impressive stories and demand real evidence.
This is all the work we cited for the project.